Okay, I'm going to read a little bit because I don't normally talk about Brooks.
Oh, no, you're not.
Yes, I am going to talk just a little bit about you.
That's not right.
So I'm Jennifer Lundy. I'm the Executive Director of Texans for Judicial Accountability. Dr. Brooks McKenzie had received the Conservative Leaders Sword from Texas Scorecard tonight. I wanted to talk just a little bit about him. I met Dr. Brooks McKenzie years ago when he was working the case that got me involved in judicial accountability. He had been working with Rustin and Aiden Wright in an incredibly corrupt case at the hands of Judge Graham Quisenberry. He did not allow him as an expert to testify, and since that time I have watched him work relentlessly towards helping families in other corrupt cases. We don't get or hear about the easy ones. When I say relentlessly, I mean it. He was with me at a monthly Texas Federation of Republican Women meeting, who he mentioned a minute ago. And I asked him if he would run out to his car and give me a couple of cards because I knew he had some on him. While he was outside, he not only got the news that his mother had died, but also the news he had been kicked out of the meeting and the police had been called. I was there and he had done absolutely nothing. The judges were scared of him. They have no reason whatsoever to fear him physically, but he is working diligently to get the corrupt ones off the bench. And that was their territory. He is making a statement and he is making a difference, and I want to thank you, Dr. Brooks McKenzie. Okay, so like I said, I'm Jennifer Lundy with Texans for Judicial Accountability. I'm not going to go through my whole spiel tonight because it takes a little while and I didn't bring slides. Okay, thank you. But what I do want to talk about is
you want me to pass those out?
Vicki has got these, and I don't know where she has gone.
She's there.
Okay, she's right there. Okay, so I don't know that I have enough for everyone in the room, but if you would like to have a copy of this, she has got them right there. So.
And that's Vicki. If y'all haven't met Vicki, that's Vicki.
That's Vicki, yes.
We were the night we bailed him out of jail.
Yes.
We bailed him out.
So we started this 2 years ago. That's how new this is. I have been a court reporter, and I've also worked for our Senate for 2 different senators. I'm also a precinct chair in Denton County. I've been very involved for many years in the politics, and whenever I saw what was happening with our court system through Rustin, I was like, oh my goodness, we gotta do something about this. I got with a county court of law judge, a district judge, and an appellate court judge, and went over everything that I had seen in our State Commission on Judicial Conduct, because whenever his case happened, the judge, I was asked to sit in on the court, and so I sat in for 2 of his hearings, and the judge then called the lady I was working for. She'd been a mayor for 16 years. She's running for state rep, and he said, if Jennifer sets foot back in my courtroom, I'm going to make sure she doesn't have a job in this county again. He also called the state rep and told him the same thing. So I had 2 people there who they should have listened to, but they didn't. So I got in, filed a complaint, and I could see what was happening. We've canvassed the entire United States, and just to kind of compare, and Texas's State Commission on Judicial Conduct has been buried. So what we're trying to do, our number one thing is called the Constitutional Oversight Restoration Act. We don't know that it will still be called that, but that's what we're calling it. There is a panel that has been put in over the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. It's been put in over them by the Supreme Court. And whenever complaints are coming through, you file with the staff members, and then they take it to the commission, and the commission says, yeah, there's something going on here. Whenever they determine that a judge definitely needs to be reprimanded, well, this little commission that's, this little three-panel judicial group that's over them is saying, nah, we don't think anything needs to happen. Well, this group is not constitutional, so they are our number one goal to get rid of. We already have one state rep who's going to carry it for us. We're looking for Senate to carry it as well. I've spoken with all the senators down there in the last 3 weeks, and I started in on the reps this week.
Does it have a number?
It does not yet. Okay, so we have one senator who's he's a brand new senator, and he's actually done an amazing job for us. They took every bill that we have written, and they have submitted all of them, and we should have them back. They thought they'd be back by this Tuesday. They're not back yet. They've had over 10,000 bills filed. But as quickly as they get back, we'll have numbers for all of them. However, some of them are already being carried, and that is on the back of this sheet, the ones that we already have. We have SB 293, HB 797, SJR 13, SJR 27, HB 2064, HB 1761. Definitely have something that we're doing in all of them. So our next one is public disclosure of complaints. There have been 27,000 complaints filed with the SCJC in the last 20 years. They've only produced about 450 of those, less than 1%. That is outrageous. So we have got a bill out to make them all public. They've complained and said, no, we can't do that. And I said, yes, you can, because I filed a complaint. And what y'all did is y'all went to the judge, who then said, oh, it was one of my staff members who said that. It wasn't me. Y'all didn't ask anyone. They dismissed it. We have got numerous complaints because people are sending them to me that we know should have had some sort of reprimand, and they're not. So we want them all to be public. The next thing is SCJC Majority Public Board. Right now it is 6 judges, 5 public citizens, and 2 attorneys. Fortunately, this one has been picked up. Senator Huffman, she has got it out, and then State Rep Janice Holt is doing another one in the same respect. Their numbers are a little bit different, but what we have asked for are 4 judges, 7 public citizens, and 2 attorneys, so that the public citizens outweigh the number of the judiciary. I think Janice Holt is wanting to knock out any attorneys being involved in this, but she still wants the public citizens to outnumber the judges. Mandated court video and audio. Now, I've got a little bit of complaints on our side because they want it to all be public. However, our goal is for the SCJC, because we are doing everything we can to lift them up so they can do what they're supposed to do. We want them to be able to have full access to the hearings. And we're not talking about for the written record. We're talking about when the judge is talking to people and is being rude and mean and a horrible person, and that's not showing up on the record. We want our SCJC to be able to see what is happening in that court. We also want, if it's your case, then you can get the recording as well. Then our next one, court reporter appointment. The court reporters are hired by the judges. We want them to be hired by the regional administrative judge. We don't want, as a court reporter, we're supposed to be neutral. And I don't think it's right that they are hired by the judge, because it's a little bit difficult to be neutral to your boss. So we want them to be hired by the regional judge. We have a court reporter mandate. We want the court reporters to take down the off-the-record testimony. Whenever the judge calls up the attorneys to have their little off-the-record discussions, or when the judge has the attorneys back in his office, we want a court reporter to be in there taking down those notes. We don't want any more of this hidden stuff that's happening to us. We have a director election. Because we are trying to make the SCJC be accountable, we want the director to be a statewide elected official so that we can actually hold them accountable. We want special judicial financial disclosures. The judges are taking donations to their, I said it correctly.
The 2020 Supreme Court Advisory Committee calls them bribes.
So they're taking donations to their campaigns, bribes. They're taking donations to their campaigns. They're not letting the other person who has a case with them know that this is happening. They are ruling in favor of the person who gave them the donation. We want them to now, if they accept a donation of any sort and they have a case going, that both parties need to be alerted within 5 days. The ones that those have all been written in full, and I have been passing them out. Believe me, everyone knows what we're doing down there. We've got 5 more that are being written up, so I'm not sure how they're going to read, but the ability to file a complaint with the SCJC has got to be made easier to the public. About 2 years ago, they changed it from you could not file online anymore. You had to then mail in your complaint, and it may be 4 or 5 months before you even know if they received it. So we are asking for, we kind of thought the easiest thing to do, there are 14 appellate courts, so we want each one of them to establish one person to be able, or maybe more depending on how many people come in, but we want a person to be able to instruct people on how to file and then forward that complaint to the SCJC so that they have a record that they have filed it. Then when the SCJC receives a valid complaint, the person filing it needs to be involved in the process, whether by Zoom or in person. I put that out there because of my particular one. They went to the judge. They didn't even come to those of us who had complained. That just shows what's going on. Judges' jurisdiction must be limited to their county and their contiguous counties. I've talked with many judges about what we're doing. We've got a lot of support of what we're doing. And one of them said, hey, if they want to raid your house, they can get a judge out of El Paso to issue the warrant for Fluttermound. And I said, really? That's not okay, because if something happens that's not right, we need to know who it is. So we are asking for them to limit it to their, I know some judges run multiple counties, but their counties and their contiguous counties is what we are asking for. And then we want to amend the government code to require any clerk to randomly assign judicial cases. If they have more than one judge they can assign to. That has got to be random, because right now they are just pushing cases towards the person that they want to push them to, and that's not okay. The last one doesn't really have anything to do with what we're doing up there, but it will help a lot of people, I think. We want the option to join the military in lieu of criminal charges for nonviolent felons between the ages of 17 and 23. These kids need, a lot of them are in this situation because of their surroundings, and this is a way for them to get out and become better people. So that's what we've got going. But I'm going to tell you that on the first one, the Constitutional Oversight Restoration Act, I did not even know about this little group that was above the State Commission on Judicial Conduct until I met with Debbie Shank. And if you don't know who he is our presiding judge over the Court of Criminal Appeals. He won this last election. He sat down with me and he let me know that they exist, and he has worked very diligently to have them removed. He made a statement with the Senate Committee on Finance in January, and y'all have this sheet as well if you'd like to read over it. It is direct to our Constitutional Oversight Restoration Act. So that is what we're trying to do. We will have more bills as the years go by, I know, but I felt like 13 of them was a pretty good start. We've got a lot of people responding. A lot of our Senate and our House reps are responding. Some of them aren't wanting to push this first bill. It is why I am talking about it more than the others. Y'all call your rep, call your senator, tell them that these bills have got to go through. That one in particular, you know, I'm for all of our bills, but if every other bill passed and that one didn't, they're still going to be able to squash anything that comes through. So our goal, our number one goal is to get that one removed. And if there's anything else, does anyone have any quick questions?
And this is the one that doesn't have a number yet.
They do not have numbers yet, because whenever I started it, I started last, so whenever we went through the convention and we made it to number 13, I had a gentleman call me and say, hey, can I write your bills? And at the time I had about 5 of them. And so he wrote those up for me. I took them to Senator Huffman. She is the one who is pushing a lot of this. She's got some great bills out for us. But, you know, I was hoping she would take them all on. So a lot of them have taken on parts of them, but I did not have them written up the way we had them. But the one senator, they are putting them all out the way we want them. That doesn't mean they're going to take them that way, but I just want them all out there. And I'm going to be, I've had a generous donor get me a place down there about a block and a half from the Capitol. I've spent the last 3 weeks there. I'll be back there Sunday. And I'm going to continue to knock on every single door over and over and over to get these through. Yes?
Which bill was it you said that absolutely needs to get passed?
It is the first one, and I don't have a number on it yet, but it's coming. It's the Constitutional Oversight Restoration Act. And if you want to see the way the bill is written, they are all on our website, TexansForJudicialAccountability.org. We have them in full because we are as open and transparent as we can be, because that's what we're asking for from them. So,
Well, I believe you mentioned something about Judge David Shank you asking him to remove something? Is that what you said?
he let us know about this group that needs to be removed.
Oh, the group that, okay.
Yes, and we've got, I think, 4 of our criminal court of appeals justices are on our side. We've got lots of we had, I think, 7 that were brought in to the, what number is the one here?
7.
We have 7 new Republican justices.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and they are in support of what we're doing as well. And so that's why I'm trying to, and we have lots of judges who are in support of us.
Oh,
What was
but
the name of the group you sent? The group that needs to be removed?
It's called, I don't know if I even have it on here what it's called, but it's an appointed judicial panel system that oversees the constitutionally established Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct's disciplinary decisions, is what I have in here. But if you go in and you look, you'll see exactly what it's called. Because they were very secret. No one even knew that they
It's a
existed.
secret court that makes the final decision on whether anybody gets in trouble or not.
Absolutely.
It's not a court of record. Nobody knows it's happening. There's no one witnessing it. It's some men, most likely, maybe some women, coming into a room saying,
Yeah.
we see nothing here.
And Shank was over the State Commission on Judicial Conduct for a year. That's why he knows about this. And he said that he had several judges that they deemed to need reprimand, and that 3-panel system removed them, said now they're okay. And when that court, when they are telling them that there is a problem and they're ignoring it, we can see that we have a problem. And so we are doing everything that we can to fix that problem.
So can this panel, do they actually have the authority to remove a judge from the bench?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct was established in, I believe, the late 60s. They started in California. Every state has one, although it may be called something different. And they were put in for that reason. They are supposed to be a watchdog for us. They're not here, and we want them to be. We want them to go. That's part of why we're wanting the cameras in the courtroom for them to have access to, because we want them to randomly pick a court and randomly pick something and watch the judges.
So you're asking to have the panel removed rather than reformed?
The top panel needs to be removed. They are not constitutional.
Okay,
We want the State Commission on Judicial Conduct to do what they're supposed to do, and they can't.
okay.
So I'm not even talking bad about them. They can't. Even if they wanted to, they can't. That three-panel system that was placed above them is keeping them from being able to do their job.
Okay.
So we want that three-panel system removed. It is unconstitutional that it's there. So it needs to go. Yes.
Jennifer, with regard to the idea of having 7 citizens on the SCJC,
Yes.
how would a citizen get his or her name in front of them to be considered?
We're not even close to that.
Well, I'm just
Well, no,
wondering.
there
We'll put you
are-
on the list.
Now, had I known
Thank
that
you.
you
That's
were
all I
going to
wanted to
ask that, I would have brought the information because there is a place that you can put it in with the state. The governor is who picks these people, but very few people even know where to apply. So I probably need to put that on the website. So thank you. Send me an email, and I'm going to put that on the website because that's an important thing. We all need to know how to apply to get on that commission.
Yeah, what are the requirements?
That the judge appoints you.
That you know the governor?
That not the judge, that the governor appoints you. I've been asked to put in an application for it. I said, I don't think I need to be doing that. Maybe when we get it all fixed. Yes.
Have you given any thought to proposing legislation where in the 1 in a million instance, according to my lawyers in my case, where you can actually get a judge recused for bias, that should not trigger an automatic investigation by the Judiciary Commission of the State Bar?
That should.
If our goal is to police the system,
Mhm.
that should be mandatory, should it not?
You're correct. Send me that and I think it may be too late to get any more bills written up for this session, but I will put that on for the next
I had
one.
both the State Bar and the Judiciary Commission tell me they're not gonna investigate. We got our judge recused.
Mhm.
I had 3 lawyers working on it, and 40-year practicing people.
Have they filed?
And they said, we've never seen anything as bad as this judge. We're gonna propose to you that you spend this money to get her recused, knowing that it's a 1 in a million opportunity in Texas. It's just impossible to get judges recused. Their level of discretion, the breadth of their discretion is incredible.
I know we've had quite a few recused, but what you're saying is very good. So please send me a text because I will have something written up on that. It should be automatic.
It should be.
Yes. Yes.
The 3-panel system that you're talking about
Yes.
is the special court of review.
Thank you. It just slipped my mind. Special court of review. That's what we're trying to get rid of. They were there before. They are only supposed to state whether or not a judge can be a traveling judge or not. That's all they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to be over the state commission on judicial conduct. Yes.
Have you ever thought of proposing a bill for legislation anyway that similar to what Oklahoma has now, where if a parent kidnaps the child from the innocent parent that's done nothing wrong, you have to see a judge or magistrate within 21 days. Now, I'm saying you can brainwash a child within about 24 hours. That's what mine ex did. So I'd like that to be shorter, but Oklahoma is having success because of that. You have to come to court, both parents, and they compel the other party that kidnapped the child to explain why the child is missing from the home.
Well, okay. So you may write me as well. I mean,
If you have ideas for bills,
yeah,
there are
please.
numbers on everything.
Yeah,
There'll be more questions and a little.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get
my
let's
number's
get
on
Jeff up.
everything. You may absolutely send me ideas for bills. I have some thoughts on that, but that would take way long for me
As
to.
a follow-up, we also need something, going to what Brooks McKenzie said, because in the family code, it doesn't say a judge must grant 50-50 custody. It says shall or may.
We are working on that right now, because I know it's extended, the extended parental visitation is what is the number one, and that's what they have to go to. We are working on a bill right now to get it to where 50-50 is the first option. Now, obviously, there are going to be a lot of things that go along with that if they want it, because not every parent wants it. It depends on how far apart they live. There are things that go with that, but still, it's got to be the first option for the judges, because they don't, that's not their first option. There are a lot of them who would like to do that can't. So we have to get that to where it is.